Hello everybody, Scot-sword here, and if you're a regular viewer of mine, then hello, thank you for checking out another video. If you're a brand new viewer or subscriber, because this video is going to appear on the channel homepage. So if you're seeing this and you haven't yet subscribed, or you're a brand new viewer, then thank you for checking out the channel. This video will just serve as sort of an introductory video to the channel, as well as sort of highlighting everything that's been happening on the channel over the last 12 months. And now looking forward to 2024. So anybody who's new around here, my YouTube channel is mainly focused on digital adaptations of board games. I started off with Fury of Dracula, and that's still kind of my main thing. I'm quite heavily involved in the digital edition community for that game. I'm the tournament organizer. We've already got 3 tournaments under our belt, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I want to keep organising more going into 2024, so I'm quite heavily involved with that. Not playing as many games of my own at the moment, but that might change throughout the year. We'll have to see. I did do a playthrough of Gloomhaven, the digital adaptation, through the actual app, not on Tabletop Simulator or anything like that, and I really had a lot of fun playing it. But as you can see on the image that's on your screen right now, Gloomhaven doesn't appear, just because I finished that playthrough I think around September, October time of 2023, and yeah, then that sort of put a stop to it. I think it's one of those games which is very fun to play, but maybe not the most fun to watch, unless people are looking up scenarios to find a very, very specific, they're looking up a scenario to find a certain way of doing something, or watch somebody else tackle a difficult scenario, and then they can try it with their own group. I think most of the content that's around on YouTube is more focused on actual discussion of the game in terms of like tier lists and how you change the characters, especially now that Gloomhaven 2.0 is coming out, and then Frosthaven and all this sort of stuff. It's focused on talking about how strong each character is and certain builds and all this sort of thing. I don't know if there's much appetite just to sit and watch people play the game. If it's on Twitch or something where you can interact with the Twitch chat, then yes. But it was fun. It was a fun playthrough. I really enjoyed it. It gave me an opportunity to play something different other than Fury of Dracula all the time. But at the moment, there's no intention at all to bring Gloomhaven back to the channel. It didn't perform very well, but that's fine. Because, this is just a hobby. I'm not doing it for views necessarily. But I enjoyed the whole playthrough, and I think I managed to try out almost all of the characters. And quite a lot of them I never tried out before in my previous playthroughs of the game, either solo or playing on Tabletop Simulator with my friends. So it was definitely a really nice opportunity to sit there and play it. But yeah, in terms of recording, I don't think it's something I want to do again. Wingspan has been a recent addition to the channel. I actually saw quite a big subscriber boost when I started recording Wingspan videos. So for context, I did this type of video last year on New Year's Eve, and at that point I had 42 subscribers. My plan for the end of this calendar year was to get up to 100. Well, as of the time of recording, which is like the 6th of January, I'm on 118, so I've smashed that target, and I definitely saw it when I went. That Wingspan community is very, very big. On their Discord, they've got about 2,500 people in the tournament server, and then in the non-tournament server, goodness knows how many, right? So even if just a small fraction check out the channel, then I personally see quite a big growth from that. And I also see it too, there's a lot of people who have been commenting on my videos, and hopefully now that I'm getting better, they'll stick around for the regular content. So that's been really good fun, just again to play something different and focus on something else. And the challenge I had with Fury of Dracula when I started playing it was to get through that learning curve. And then I managed to win a couple of tournaments out of it, and then it's just now going back to that same thing with Wingspan, where I've got to start all the way at the beginning again, get through that. I'm still on that learning curve. I'm nowhere near the top at all. I'm not going to be winning any tournaments anytime soon, but it's just nice to have a different type of challenge. And also it's quite nice too, because Wingspan's quite short compared to Fury of Dracula. The videos I've been recording are about half the length as you'd expect for a Fury of Dracula game. So it just means it's much easier for me, because my work hours are very antisocial. I can just come home at like 10 o'clock at night, and I can more easily say, right, I'll play a Wingspan game. and if I feel well after one, I can play a second one, rather than go into a game of Fear of Dracula and think, oh, I've got to commit now an hour and a half to this, which is a great game, but just sometimes when you get about halfway through, you realize you're actually really tired, you don't want to keep playing. The thing with Wingspan that's happened recently is with the digital edition of the game, the Oceania expansion has been released very recently, in the last month or so. I've been checking out, I haven't played it much personally, but I've been checking out some Twitch streams of higher level players in the community who've been playing it and chatting about it. I personally just I'm not really interested in it. I've spent quite a lot of time and effort trying to learn the base game and the European expansion, and I really enjoy it. It seems that the Oceania expansion changes the game a lot. Some things for the better, some things maybe a bit more negatively, but that's just purely my opinion. There are people who really enjoy the Oceania expansion, that's great. And I'm also really happy that they're bringing it to digital. It's really cool to see that the developers of the digital edition, have the backing of the board game developers, and then also have the community that they can keep pushing forward and releasing these expansions, and they know there'll be a great uptake of them. I think it's really good to see. But just for me, I'm just not vibing with it. I'm not interested in it. It's not hooking me. I'm not watching people play and go, oh, I want to play that. That, you'll see from the channel, for example, there's nothing about Oceania. If I was doing it purely to be greedy and try and get subscribers, I think I should be really jumping on the Oceania bandwagon, and I'd get a lot of views and subscribers out of it, but I'm just personally not very interested in it, and the whole point of this channel is not to be greedy and just get all subscribers for the sake of getting subscribers. It's just I want to play what I want to play, and just to make it fundamentally clear, anybody who is doing content for Oceania expansion, I'm not saying that the only reason they're doing it is to get subscribers. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I were to do it, it'd be purely from the perspective of, oh, I could get quite big growth on the channel because of it. If I'm not interested to play the game with the expansion, then what's the point? I'm not going to waste my time doing it. Basically that means then my Wingspan videos are going to be very much limited to gameplay from the base game and European expansion. That's okay at the moment, because there's a tournament ongoing, which I'm competing in, which is only base game and European expansion. The next two tournaments that have been announced for the community, they release, or they announce new tournaments every 3 weeks, more or less. There's like 2 or 3 tournaments ongoing all the time. The next 2, which are in the pipeline, are for Oceania, so I won't be competing in those. So I did say in a previous video, but I'll say here that if there are then tournaments which only focus on base game and European expansion, I will come back and play in them. The big question will be, how well will I play, because when I've been trying to get friendly games in the community, just in general, just trying to just keep practicing and boosting my elo, my elo is actually the highest it's ever been. It's getting towards 1100 now, so I'm slowly getting there, and it's getting that just gradual, steady growth. I'm actually finding it quite hard to get games. Normally when you go and say you're looking for a game, you normally get responses within like sort of like 5-10 minutes, but I'm often sitting there for quite a long time, and because I'm specifically asking for no Oceania, and obviously at the moment, because there's a lot of hype about the expansion, a lot of people don't want to play base game and European, so we'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see from how the community is going to do it, if they're going to keep going with tournaments which have all the expansions, or they're going to have like a half and half thing going on. I'm not sure. At the moment, the community is very much focused on they want to, like, for the next few tournaments, they want to do as much as possible with Oceania, because as a community they're collecting data, not literally collecting data, but they are gaining experience with the expansion, and they're trying to ascertain in terms of what birds are really strong, what type of strategies and mechanics or tactics or whatever are strong or maybe overpowered, and then they have to then ban them in later tournaments or whatever. Because there are 4 birds in the base game, the 2 ravens, the killdeer, and Franklin's Gull, which are banned. So they're trying to ascertain from the Oceania expansion, are there any which are now from that which are OP? Because they're using a different type of board and everything, does that then affect birds from the base game? Does it make them OP or whatever? They have to ascertain all this information, and I'm told, I've got no problem with the community wanting to go with the, going in the direction of the Oceania expansion for a while. That's perfectly normal. It's just not for me. So the Wingspan content is going to be decreasing, so sorry for people who have subscribed for Wingspan. I will keep playing Wingspan, but just obviously at the moment it's just not the right time for it, so we'll have to see. But if there's any more tournaments with just European expansion, I'll be back and I'll keep playing. Don't know how well I'll do, but I'll keep doing it. What else is new? So yeah, in the top left you can see there's Euro Truck Simulator, which is not a digital board game. I've released a couple of videos over Christmas time, really long form videos of like 2 or 3 hours, where I'm just sitting there playing Euro Truck Simulator, just driving around Europe and just chatting. And those videos have just kind of served to be first I can just chat about things that are happening with the channel, things I wouldn't be able to chat about normally when I'm trying to concentrate on commentating on Free of Jackler games or playing games of Wingspan or Free of Jackler. I can just talk more naturally about things. I can talk about other things that interest me, like music or culture or whatever. But also those videos are kind of just there just to serve, just if there's anybody who's in, either they find it randomly on YouTube through the luck of the algorithm, or regular viewers of mine who to provide alternative content for them, and also just if they want the videos that I'm doing for Euro Truck Simulator are just called a video to keep you company if you need it, and that's kind of what they're there for. They're just this type of video they can put on in the background. I'm not playing a board game, so you don't have to watch what I'm doing, and you can just listen to me talk if that's what you need. If you're having a bad day, or you need something relaxing to listen to if you're trying to get to sleep and all this sort of stuff. And we can talk about mental health and all that sort of thing on the videos. So that's what they're there for. So again, you notice from the names of the video, the Euro Truck Simulator 2 community is quite big. So again, I could probably get quite a lot of views out of it. But you'll see that apart from just tagging that the game is Euro Truck Simulator, nowhere in the title does it say anything about Euro Truck Simulator. And same, I've also got American Truck Simulator, and I may or may not have bought quite a lot of DLCs for that over Christmas. So I might switch suddenly, and do a video of American Truck Simulator, but again, in the title of the video I won't say American Truck Simulator anywhere, because it's not meant to be a gameplay video of American Truck Simulator, or Euro Truck Simulator. If that's what people want to use it for, great, but I'm just going to be talking about whatever. So yeah, that's the intention of the video is different. It's not meant to be, watch me play Euro Truck Simulator, look how good I am playing the game. It's like, no, it's just there as a visual thing to have in the background. So I'm not talking I'm not doing nothing while I'm talking to you. And then it can prompt discussion, where if there's something in the landscape or on the horizon or a certain building, I might talk about it, if we're talking about a certain European country or whatever. So that's the plan. So a couple of them got released over Christmas, and I want to try and do them maybe about once a month. So they're not going to be extremely regular, but if you kind of come back, towards the end of each month, more or less, they'll be there. I'll leave a special playlist in the channel. If you go into the playlist section of the channel, you'll find them, and they'll get added about once a month, more or less. I would definitely say, oh yeah, last day of each month it'll be there, but it just depends on my availability to record. It depends what's happening in real life, if I'm able to bank up recordings in advance, but I'm not sure. So that's basically the plan going forward. Free of Jackler is the main focus. I'm very committed to keep being the tournament organizer. After we've had 2 very successful tournaments in 2023, which was great. We had a lot of returning players, but also new players. And also the great thing about the recent World Championship that we had in between September and December was that a lot of other players and members of the community, they weren't necessarily tournament participants, but people in the community in general were very willing to record their own games or record other people's games or even live stream them. And that was really great because of time differences and things. I couldn't record a lot of them, so just as a community now, there's a lot more recordings of games which would have been lost ordinarily. But also, it took the burden off me a little bit. So it means that when I do any commentaries of other people's games, I was able to put my full energy into it, which was great. And it was also just nice too to have more voices in the community who are talking. And it's not just me banging the same drum, you're going to hear different perspectives, and I think that's just really nice, to be honest. It's more interesting as a viewer, it's more interesting as a community. You don't just get bogged down with one person's way of doing something, in terms of playing or in terms of analysing, so I think it's really cool. So if you go onto the channel, you'll find playlists from all the tournaments we've done, and I've made it like a communal playlist, so it's not just my recordings of games. I've put in any recordings that I've done from any player, regardless if it's a live stream or recorded like a proper like VOD, or if it was recording of their own gameplay or commentary. It's all in there, so you can check them all out, which is great. And if you click on any of my Fear of Dracula videos, which have come out recently, in the description of the videos you'll find links to all the other YouTube channels for Fear of Dracula, from people in the community, which is great. So yeah, hopefully in 2024 that continues. In terms of the tournaments this year, I want to run one starting this month for the new members of the community who have joined over Christmas, and also for the players who have participated in tournaments before, but have maybe struggled a little bit or haven't reached the final stages, just to give them an opportunity to sort of hone their skills a bit more and practice, but it won't be so intimidating because the highly skilled players won't be eligible to compete. And then it means then any commentaries we can do can kind of focus on sort of like broader strategy discussion rather than these really intricate details, which ends up kind of happening sometimes when you have really high level players playing, which kind of makes sense, right? And it doesn't take away anything from the games. When you have two sort of like lower, we don't have ELO, but I'll use the word because the analogy would work. If you have two lower ELO players playing for Fear of Dracula, that doesn't mean the game is not exciting to watch. It's actually kind of the opposite, because they'll often kind of march to the beat of their own drum in the way they do certain things, and it makes it then quite unpredictable for us as commentators, and it makes it really fun to watch in a positive way. So I think there'll be a lot of value in that. And then later on in the spring, I want to do another tournament. Different. We did a regionals tournament last year. I think I'm going to mix it up and do something different in all the other tournaments we've done so far. Every participant has had to play both as hunters and as Dracula, so I'm thinking of maybe doing a tournament where you can just pick the faction that you want. Obviously we're going to hopefully have an equal balance of hunters and Dracula players, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes near the time. And then obviously we'll have the World Championship in the autumn. That's worked pretty well. I've been changing the tournament structure. The one we had this year had a little bit more jeopardy built in, which definitely made it more exciting from the offset, or the outset rather. But there were downsides to it, so I'm looking at changing it again and moving towards a Swiss style type of tournament, especially if the number of participants keeps growing, which hopefully it will. But I've got to try and get my head around how I can organize all the files and documents behind the scenes, the things that people don't see, in terms of like how all the scores are calculated, because I could do it all manually, but that would take forever. So I've currently got lots of Excel spreadsheets out trying to get my head around how I can do it in a way that is efficient, but we'll have to see if I can get it to work. But yeah, that's the plan basically. The only other thing I'm thinking of doing this year, again, if I have time, and it depends on obviously Wingspan and Fear of Dracula stuff, will be to maybe do a little bit of board game arena. I've been playing a little bit of it over Christmas, and it never occurred to me to record the board games I play on there. And I actually came across randomly a player. I'll give him a shout out. I think it's called in game he's called Sorcerer Matt, but in YouTube it's Sorcerer Network, who does he records his gameplays of Ticket to Ride, and also I think Seven Wonders and all that stuff on Board Game Arena. And somebody in the comments of one of his videos said it, which is kind of right. Not many people are doing it. And there's so many games on there that I really like playing. So I wouldn't mind, a little bit of Takenoko or Tokaido, or I've started learning Heat Pedal to the Metal. So these sort of games, or even Ticket to Ride or something, I could easily, record some of them and put them up. Kind of have a little variety playlist where I just play Board Game Arena, and just each week it's a different game or something. I don't know, every 3 days it's a different video or something. That's definitely an option, especially if Wingspan sort of slows down, if there's not much European expansion stuff being played. We'll have to see, but again, a lot depends on time. Ultimately, if the Dracula tournaments take off again, then that's most of the spring taken up with doing recordings, and then it'll just be the summer that'll be free, basically. So it might have to be a summer thing. I might bank up recordings in advance of me playing Board Game Arena. We'll see. But again, as I said, there's a lot of things going on in real life, just adult things that just, have been neglected. I need to get them sorted, just, things like learning to drive, and I got married in the past 12 months, so, getting married and moving, and what else? For those of you who don't know, based upon the name of the channel, I'm from Scotland, but I live in Spain, so trying to get over the language barrier, and I want to do more studying for that and do an official exam soon, and I have to start thinking more carefully about my career and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a lot of things going on, which obviously take up quite a lot of time, and also just general, this is not my job. I have, a day job to still go to. So there's a lot of things going on, but it'll be a very productive year. So we'll have to see how the channel progresses. I'm not going to set any ridiculous targets. I would like to try and get to 200-ish, by the end of the year in terms of subscribers, but it just depends on what sort of content I can provide. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This video's gone on way longer than I wanted it to, but never mind, I've been rambling, but never mind, I'm going to stop. But thank you for checking out the channel. Regardless if you've been a subscriber with me since the beginning, or you're checking out the channel for the first time, thank you very much for doing so. I appreciate it a lot, and thank you very much just for any views or likes or comments or whatever. I appreciate it, and I read everything, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, we'll have to see. We'll come back in a year's time and see how much of everything I've said has it come to fruition or not. We'll have to see. But take care, everybody. I hope you all had a very good Christmas and New Year, however you celebrated, and all the best for 2024. I hope everything that you want to happen happens, and everything goes well. And there will be some bumps along the way, but we'll ride it. We'll ride through it together. Now I'll always be here providing videos if you ever need a welcome distraction. So there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy. Good luck, and all the best for 2024. Thanks for checking out the channel. See you in a video very soon. Bye bye.